Good evening. My name is Robert Cagnetta, and this is a meeting of the South Kingstown of Rhode Island Zoning Board of Review. Members present tonight are Thomas Daniels, our Vice Chairman, Arlene Hicks, Jeff Elia, and William McDonald. Also present are David Marks, our South Kingstown Special Legal Counsel, Jamie Gorman, South Kingstown Building and Zoning Official, and Ben Barbera, Building and Zoning Associate. I know, I'm going to hesitate every time now. The board is made up of 8 people with 5 members that are regular voting members. A minimum of 4 members must be present to vote. In the event that regular members are absent or recused, an alternate will step in. No more than 5 members are entitled to a vote, and at least 3 voting members are necessary to grant the requested relief. Tonight, the voting members will be myself, Mr. Daniels, Ms. Hicks, Mr. Elia, and Mr. McDonald. Applicants are here for either a dimensional or use variance or a special use permit. This board is a quasi-judicial body created by the South Kingstown Ordinance pursuant of state statutes. We don't follow strict rules of evidence, and we operate in what we believe to be in a fair and equitable manner. We try the best to let everybody speak, unless you get carried away, or it's deemed not relevant. So for the interest of time, please stay brief and on point. We do our best not to argue, and we're hoping to be out of here by Brickley's o'clock. So, no, by 10 o'clock. So I think we'll be okay. After we introduce your petition, please step forward and to the microphone and adjust it as necessary. Clearly state and spell your name for the record. There is a button on here that has sort of a image of a person that's speaking. Hit that so this turns red. And then when you're done speaking, hit the button again, or else we get feedback. You'll be asked to take an oath to tell the truth. After that, you can present your petition with any witnesses to testify in support of your application. The board will ask you or your witnesses questions. After the petitioner has presented their testimony, anyone with questions in support of or opposition to the petition can step up to the microphone. You will identify yourself, be sworn in, and present your testimony with follow-up questions from the board. Please do not direct any questions or comments to the petitioner or any other witnesses. The board will direct those questions to the petitioner or the witnesses after the comment period. After hearing all the testimony, board members will discuss the application and evidence presented. Board members will ask a lot of questions, and there's a good reason. We cannot just grant anything we choose. There are rules to follow per the South Kingstown Ordinance, so you must give testimony to support certain facts that allow the request to be approved. So if you're coming here for a dimensional variance, you must present evidence that your hardship is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land or the structure, but is not due to the general characteristic of the surrounding area. That your hardship is not the result of any prior action on your part, and that granting the variance will not alter the general character of the surrounding area, and the hardship that by the denial of the variance will amount to more than a mere inconvenience. That means the relief sought is minimal to reasonably enjoy the permitted use of the property. For a special use permit, you must present evidence that the request is specifically authorized by, and we don't have any special use tonight, do we? No. All right, so we can end there. Any other business that we have to go over before we get started?
Just to congratulate Mr. McDonald on his promotion to full member.
Oh, correct. You are now graduated from an alternate number 2 even. He jumped over 1 right up to the board. Good for you. Well done. No, thank you. That's it? Okay. So tonight we are going to hear first from the continuation of the petition ZA-26-1, which is Henry Cabrera of 3812 Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry Highway, Wakefield, Rhode Island, 02879. There's an appeal under the zoning ordinance as follows: that the applicant is seeking to appeal the notice of violation issued by the zoning enforcement officer dated May 22nd, 2025, related to the premises at 3812 Commodore Oliver Perry Highway. The owner of the property is Henry Cabrera for premises located at 3812 Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry Highway, South Kingstown. Assessors map 78-3, lot 7, and is zoned R200. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, of Planning Board. My name is Stephen Angel. I'm an attorney. I represent Dr. Cabrera and Lavender Waves Farm on the appeal. Last time we were here, we had requested a continuance. There is pending in the town in the planning department at DPR relative to this property for essentially the same violation that is in front of you. We're seeking to cure that. We've informed Mr. Gorman of what our progress is on that end. The application remains incomplete at this time. We're narrowing down the issues. So where we are right now, I can tell you, is that we're in the thick wicket of CRMC, and we're waiting on them. We have to delineate the wetlands for them. They want it, the town would like us to get a permit for the use with CRMC, and we're waiting on that at this time. There are some other things that we're waiting on. We had a bit of a job getting a landscape architect engaged to do a landscape plan. We will have that and have it submitted next week. We have submitted the other materials that the town is interested in from us. We're refining our work on a traffic memorandum, just short of a full traffic study with respect to the queuing of vehicles on the road as people would attend the events. So that's where we are. You know, so we're not where we'd like to be. We're certainly not where you all would like us to be. I don't expect to have any quick word from CRMC, you know, within 30 or even 60 days. So we respectfully are requesting a continuance to either November or December. And that's where we stand at this point.
And I mean, you're aware of what the zoning enforcement officer has sort of made on the property, right? So the intent is to cease all operations that are related to that.
Well, no, this is a farm, so there are normal farm operations
Absolutely,
that are ongoing,
yes.
but we don't intend to have, or the client does not intend to have weddings of the scale that he's seeking to have,
Okay.
consistent with the administrative DPR before planning.
Okay. Okay, board members, question? Yeah, Mr. Ely.
Are you, do you have any plans to have any events that are not farm-related? While
Not
this is
farm,
pending?
not farm-related, no.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Gorman, does that satisfy sort of your concerns relative to?
I mean, the initial notice of violation was, you know, advertising of weddings and other events that were non-agricultural. So certainly if, you know, if there's none taking place and there's an appeal that's being continued, you know, the appellants made application to the planning board, you know, I think it would be taking them on the word that there wouldn't be any events that, you know, like a wedding between now and that time.
And is it specifically anything a wedding? I mean, is there a limit to the people, or like what is the main concern or?
Well, primarily, it's historically been brought to our attention from the neighbors who have issues with traffic, noise, music, things of that nature. But this is, you know, going back a year now, so I'm sure they'll make us aware if there is something similar to a wedding taking place. But you know, if it's, you know, that's what we're relying on. We're not going to have somebody out there every weekend.
No, but I mean, in terms of and normal operations, in terms of farm operations, are obviously.
Yo, absolutely. So I believe there's lavender picking, and the public's all, you know, has access to the farm, and they do other things with animals and whatnot. So certainly that's allowed by right.
And it's not like music isn't allowed or anything like that. I mean, they can certainly have, I don't know. I mean, just on.
I mean,
with animals and things, you know, as long as it's not an event, I think is the concern, right?
yeah, a bard or a minstrel would be allowed.
Okay. Does that make sense? I mean, I just want to make
Yes.
sure that you guys aren't trying to plan around, you know.
Well, as far as I know, I'm obviously I'm not there every day, but as far as I know, I've instructed my client we're not to have any events that we
Excellent.
petition for, in that anything that goes on the farm is supposed to be consistent with the use of the farm. So lavender cuttings and that kind of thing. The farm's open for that regularly, you know, during business hours.
Does any of the board have any?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Daniels.
Chairman. I just want some clarification. Everything you've done since May 22nd of 2025 has been positive. It's been a positive move to try and get what you seek on that property. However, we still have a violation sitting here from 2025. And it seems to me we need to deal with that violation as of that date, not consider what's happening now going forward. So I guess I'm going to seek a legal opinion on that.
I would just say generally, if the applicant can reach compliance or some kind of permit from the town, that's always advisable over doing an appeal, which itself might get appealed. So although I know this has been going on for a while, really working something out with the town is the best outcome, both for the applicant and this board. So I would advise that a continuance to see how the planning board can work this out would be better than trying to enforce the appeal at this time.
Okay, so, but the violation still stands, is that correct,
Sure.
at this point?
Right.
Okay.
Any other comments, concerns? Ms. Hicks?
Yes, so you say you've advised your client not to hold any events, but has the advertising ceased as well?
As I stand here, I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't have an answer to that question for you.
Sure. Maybe this is more for our attorney. You know, we've heard the same story over and over again, right? You know, and I understand it's beneficial to resolve these at the town level versus, you know, going the other route. But at what point is this going to change our views or the views of the commission here? I mean, is it going to be, so if we say December, they come in again in December, we hear the same thing, do we say, okay, it's going to be spring? I mean, at what point would you advise us from a timeline? Because it is 15 months. We're going to ask him for another 4 months. So that's like 19 months. I'm just curious that, you know, why are we spending all this time on this that just gets punted every time?
Well, I understand the how it's aggravating. I wouldn't really want to put a number of months on it. I would just say that in the long run, if compliance is actually going to save the town a lot of time, because even if this board were to hold an appeal, then that decision can also be appealed, and in the long run, that will actually take up more of the town's time and resources, as opposed to giving some continuances and hoping that there is some kind of permit or resolution so that the applicant can reach compliance. So it is up to the board in the end how much time they want to give, but as an attorney, I would just advise to still be patient at this point. And I wouldn't want to put a number of months. I think it's better just to check in on the situation, even though I know it's aggravating to have to do this for so long, so.
Then I guess the other question I have is, while you're not aware if advertising even exists or not, doesn't exist, will you, you know, commit to getting back to Jamie tomorrow to let us know?
As soon
The
as I
town?
know from my client, I will, yes. Yes.
Well, I mean, that could be months. I mean,
No,
I
no, no,
think
no.
you should be, you know, as timely as you can.
Yes, of course.
And versus, you know, waiting for, you know, 2 or 3 months from now when, you know, I don't want to hear that, oh, my client, you know, hasn't really told me yet. I think it's something that, you know, was told it was advertising. We saw some things months ago, and I'm really surprised that you don't even know if there is advertising. So I think I would like you to get back to Jamie as soon as you can. I mean, here's an example of the advertising.
Is that a current screenshot?
I just went on their website, so although it's not a calendar for, you know, it doesn't say events for 2026, it does look like you'd have to contact them for more information, but, you know, it does, you know, have some other events and whatnot, but certainly nothing related to a wedding venue except for this language here regarding contacting them for scheduling. So this appears to be current.
Well, the picture under that green box that says starting February 2026, that certainly looks like advertising to me. If you're offering a discount, your client is offering a discount for available ceremony bookings in 2026. We're already almost through August.
And 27.
Yeah, well, that's, right.
I'll certainly ask him. I've not seen it.
I feel that until this is resolved, the advertising should stop.
Mr. Gorman, I mean, what is it, why don't we just quickly kind of review what the actual note violation was?
So let me, because this is dating back a year and a half, I have it in front of me. It was based on review of advertisements, the ones we're looking at on the website for private events, 25 and 26 seasons at Lavender Wave Farms, which included birthdays, reunions, corporate events, bridal showers, anniversary functions. So those aren't farm-related, in my opinion, so they're not allowed as of right on a farm, but they can be permitted through development plan review conducted by the Technical Review Committee, the Planning Board, which would set essentially guardrails on number of events, perhaps, review traffic, life safety, the important things. So certainly the violation requires the property owner to make application to the planning board, but to cease all events until they've received that approval.
So is it the advertising of it which is making it illegal, or is it the actual functions that are making it illegal?
The functions, but we didn't feel we would need to wait for a function to occur based on the advertising and the neighbors' concerns.
So, Mr. Angel, with the fact that it was explicit to say that they shouldn't be advertising a year and a half ago, and they're advertising.
The best I can say is that I don't think anybody expected it to last this long.
Yeah, but I mean, taking a website down, they could do it from the audience. I mean, it's not like it's hard.
Let me speak to the doctor about it.
Can you also confirm that no events have been booked for calendar year 2027 based on that website?
I can tell you that no weddings have been booked. No weddings have been booked. That I know.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Daniels, sure.
Thank you. Is there anyone here that can testify
Not
for your
this,
client?
not this evening, no.
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 Well, then, based on what I'm seeing on the screen and based on what you've presented here and seeing that the venue is still being advertised, you're still in violation. You've been in violation for over a year, since May of 2025. Your client is still in violation. So it's up to the board to do something here, and I'm all ears.
So can we have them back on the 16th of September and we can verify that this is actually taken down? And if,
The board could request that, certainly, to continue it 1 month, you're asking?
yeah,
Yes, certainly.
okay. Would you guys be okay with that?
What was the suggestion?
To meet, to have them come back next month and we look at it. And that's the last chance, basically. I mean, I don't want to create more trouble for the town, but at the same time, they've gone this long without, yeah. So we'll give them, well,
It's like the papers, it's like the violation is worthless, throw it away.
September 16th, yeah. Sure.
Again,
I can
this
make-
may be a question for our legal counsel. Is it possible to approve a continuation with the condition that the advertising be taken down?
No, you can't really attach conditions to a continuance. But the board can definitely make a request and make it clear to the applicant that that's what they're looking for in order to grant a further continuance so the CRMC and all that can work out.
I'll make a motion that we continue this, a one-time continuation to the September 16th meeting at which time your client needs to prove to the board that the advertising on the website has been indeed taken down and that no other events have been booked.
I'll second. Cagnetta seconded. Hearing, any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Ilya?
Aye.
Mr. Cagnetta? Aye. Mr. Daniels? Ms. Hicks?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald? Motion passes. We'll see you next month. Thank you. Okay, next we have the continuation of the petition of Andrew Shea of 231 Briar Drive, Wakefield, Rhode Island, 02879, requests a dimensional variance under the zoning ordinance as follows. The applicant is seeking to replace a 982 square foot deck in the rear of the dwelling. The deck will be located 1.2 feet from the east side property line and 4 feet 2 inches from the north side of the property line. Required yard setback is 4 feet 6 inches, therefore a relief of 3 foot 4 inches and 4 inches is required. The lot size is 0.21 acres. A dimensional variance is required per the zoning ordinance, sections 205, single non-conforming lots, and section 907, standards of relief. Owners of the property are Gary and Constance Wiley for premises located at 42 Browning, South Kingstown Assessors Map 96-1, Lot 47 is zoned R30. Good evening. Come on up. Good evening. Make sure that.
There we go. Yep. Good evening. I'm Andrew Shea. Yep. It's ANDREWSHEA. Yes.
Yes. Hi. Good evening, everyone. I'm Constance Wiley. CONSTANCE.
Yes.
I do.
I do.
May I present some? Sure. I do.
Okay, so why don't you give us a little background of what's happening there and why we're here?
Okay. Again, my name is Constance Wiley, and my husband and I have owned the property on 42 Browning since October 2022. And prior to that, we rented the home for 30 years. And we were fortunate enough to purchase the property from my husband's uncle. So what I have in front of you is just a series of exhibits, starting with page 1. We're seeking relief of 3 foot 4 inches on the eastern side yard setback abutting the neighbor in favor. We're also seeking relief of 4 inches on the northern side yard setback abutting a neighbor who has filed a letter of opposition. Page 2 is the letter from Mr. Gorman, the building official and zoning officer, to the town of South Kingston, to the abutters, to the subject property in the 200-foot radius, none of which have objected. And then page 3 is the subject parcel data off the internet showing the building was erected in 1935 before South Kingstown had the zoning ordinance. Page 4 is a sketch of the building layout, which depicts a wood deck, 962 square feet, which has caused this hearing for a side yard setback relief. Page 5 is the parcel data indicating the lot, which is 0.21 acres. Page 6 is the aerial view of the subject parcel, identifying it as map 96-1, lot 47. Page 7, which is just showing the subject parcel measured in a orthographic photography as 8,672 square feet. The accessor record, 0.21 acres equals 9,148 square feet. And the deed states the parcel is 9,000 square feet. All indicate that the parcel is pre-existing, non-compliant to zoning. Page 8 indicates the parcel is identified as an R30 zone. Page 9, the South Kingston zoning schedule of regulations table showing a single-family detached structure is allowed by right in the R30 zone. And then page 10, we're showing the definition of the R30 zone indicating a minimum 30,000 square foot lot size.
I'm sorry, you're here for a deck setback, right? So like, that's all we need to really talk about. I don't need the background, I don't need its relevance, and we all know it's a non-conforming lot.
Yeah,
And we know it was built before there were zoning laws.
yeah.
I mean, so and so getting into the dimensional regulations and
Okay.
everything, that's not really relevant. I think I just need to know why you need to build it 4 inches away from the yard setback in one area and then 3'4" or on the other. Like, why you need that? That's why we're here.
We're just replacing what was there.
Okay, so it was already within the same footprint,
Exactly.
So like the size of the deck before and what you're building now are the same size.
Yes, and you could.
Footings the same, and decking area, all that the same.
We have 10 years' worth of aerial photos in your
Yeah.
package of what the deck could look like. And even, that deck's been there for 30 years that I know of.
So what happened? Was it that you guys were replacing the deck and you just thought you can build it right in the same spot and then
And
you're
we
here?
have a permit to do so.
You had okay.
Yes.
And it wasn't known that it was a setback problem because you were building it in the same spot.
Exactly.
Is basically what the issue is.
Yes.
Okay. And that makes sense. So we don't really consider it as something existing. This is all supposed to still be theoretical in the sense that, so in the fact that you have a deck there and you're looking to replace it with the exact same size deck
Yes,
is basically what you're asking to do.
yes, please.
Okay. So board members, do you have questions for him relative to that? We're looking at the same footprint. Do we want to know more about? No. You were at the site. And is there anything you want to say about its placement at this point? Is there anything about it that is there enough room to work on it? Is there any issue with being disturbing any of the adjacent property by having access to this particular deck?
No, we don't believe so. My neighbor, on the other side, is, in favor of us doing the work. It's, like I said, a 1935 cottage, and we're just trying to bring some of it up to date. And
Sure.
the deck was old,
Okay.
disrepair, dangerous in spots. I've got grandchildren, and we're just trying to
Right.
replace
And
it.
it just didn't throw up any flags because you weren't expanding it. And
No.
and when you went to Mr. Gorman, you were saying you just want to replace the deck, and he said, okay.
Yes.
So that makes sense. If you're saying, if you went to Mr. Gorman and you said, I'm looking to expand it, he'd probably look at all the things and say, okay, well, you probably shouldn't do that. So it's essentially, okay. Is there anything in particular you want to say about this?
No, just that they were working under a permit. We were made aware that there may be an encroachment issue. At that point, we went out, did an inspection. There was some of the framing had begun. Typically, we don't require a survey for a deck replacement or a deck installation, but there was survey markers and clear lines that we could measure to determine that, and we were unable to say that the deck that they're replacing was damaged or, able to be replaced in kind without a variance.
Meaning that, did they have to do so much work that they had to like redig footings or redo framing and?
Absolutely, I mean.
So it was a start over,
Yeah,
essentially?
often if we're made aware at the time of application that this is a replacement in kind, it's damaged beyond repair, or it was, a tree fell on it, or what have you, it would be allowed as of right.
Right.
So we just couldn't make that determination at the point we were out there when it was partially reconstructed.
Were you able to determine that what in fact was there before was the same size as what they're building now?
It appears that way.
It does appear to be that way? Okay. And these measurements are taken to these survey lines at this point? Like you guys are fairly confident this is accurate in terms of the placement of the deck relative to your property lines? Okay. Okay. Any other questions, board members? Mr. Daniels?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just reflect for the record that we do have an objector.
Yep.
And that should be covered at some point.
Yeah, no, I'm going to give them a chance to kind of come up and state their piece. But, okay. Anything else you guys want to add to it right now? And I don't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure that we're covering the basis of why you guys are here. I mean, I appreciate all this effort you went into, and I don't want to dismiss it at all, because I know it's a lot of work to
You
do
can
everything
read
you
it
did.
tonight when you
Yeah,
need
so-
to fall asleep.
So I don't want to downplay this at all. I know it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
but the fact that you've demonstrated that this has been there for some time, that you're not making it any bigger. The building inspector has said, in fact, that it seems to be about the same size. So it seems like that this was all just kind of a misunderstanding of where and what you can build. So,
Thank you.
did you want to add anything to that?
No, it just, I think, we're just looking forward to continuing and finishing the project so that my family can enjoy it. We've been in a holding pattern for a while.
How far are you guys done with it? The framing is up, but not decking or anything like that?
The decking is done.
Okay.
It needed to be because it was dangerous
Yeah, sure.
for our children,
Okay.
grandchildren.
Okay. Well, hopefully you guys, but we'll see what concerns folks have, and we'll go from there. So,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. You have that right there, right? Because I don't know where it is in my pile. Okay. We'll start with anyone that wants to speak on behalf of this, in support of it. Okay. Anyone out there want to speak against it? Come on up. No, well, let's. Well, in my eyes, it hasn't. So just turn on the microphone and state your name and spell it, please. The one, press right where the body, like the person outline is. Yep, you got it.
Okay, Bert Hess, H-E-S-S.
And you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that in our eyes, technically, they're asking for it to be built.
Yeah.
And what they're asking to build is something of the same size that was there before.
Well, I'm going to give you a handout that's not true.
Okay.
There's a drawing that was done last year when the owner added this little section. And
Okay. Well, we can pass it out to the board. That's plenty. Thank you. Thank you. I'll hand it back.
so right here, this doesn't look like a lot, but I've lived there for 25
Yep. You gotta stand up there. Yep.
I lived here for 25 years. The deck was roughly 600 square feet 25 years ago when I built my house. And today it's over 900 square feet in different configurations. And the portion that I'm objecting to is the back of the apartment, the garage, that is about doubled in its width, and which now is, as I'm told, is going to have a smoker or barbecue, and it's going to be right close to me. It's 3 feet from my property line. Not 4'6", not 4'2" as asked for. It's 3'6" right now. So there's a discrepancy as to what is that little piece of deck that's right against me. But
Okay.
the real concern would be, is the 1 foot off my neighbor on the adjacent property, which looks like 2 feet, but in reality, the fence is a foot setback from the property lines, as well as my concrete wall is not on the property line, of course. It's had to be set back in order to build it.
Right.
So you're actually closer to the property lines than it appears. And in my little corner, that's a wetlands right there. My property, the back of my property is staked and is actually noted as wetlands. And when you build something, you have to, are supposed to get a wetlands
Is it
permit.
something that's flagged and identified as
Yes, it
wetlands?
is.
On a plot plan, something? Or-
Yes.
or-
Yep. Yep.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we're not aware of any documentation of it, but,
Well, they went ahead and built that little section in the wetlands.
okay. Well, that's not, we don't have
Yeah,
any
you
purview
don't
over,
have any-
over wetlands.
I
What
understand.
they're asking for is to set the deck closer to the property line than, right.
Yep.
And where it is existing. So you're saying that the 1.2 feet, or 1 foot 2 inches is not on yours. Yours is the 3 foot 4
Yeah,
inches?
that's correct.
Okay, so you're, oh wait, so
But
1.2 feet from the east side and 4 point, so you feel like that 4.2 feet from the north property line is on yours?
It's actually 3.6 right now.
So you're saying it's not 4 foot 2
It's not.
from
You
the
can
property
measure
line?
it. It's
Well,
there.
that's-
Yeah, it's
I mean,
there. If
it-
you've gone out and looked at it, you know, you might not, you might think it's close. I'm not sure how you would
Well,
look at it.
they're
But I
only
have
allowed to
I
build
have a
it.
I'm sorry, there's a non-conforming, you know, this property was built in 1935, as it was stated,
Sure,
and it's all non-conforming.
right.
And then there's a little abutment, a little outhouse, which was an outhouse, which is actually on the property line. So I see 25, 35 feet of non-conforming structure, which you're expanding. And in my little corner there, I've got the wetlands, I've got the restrictions, I've got my back door, and I've got an expanded deck.
Their expanded deck,
That
you're
deck
saying?
has been, the width of the deck has been expanded.
Okay, so, and that's affecting, like that, what's it affecting?
Pardon?
Why is that an issue? I mean, you're saying that it's all non-conforming, everybody's really
Yeah.
kind of close to each other there,
Yep,
and it's a deck,
yep.
right? I mean, they can have a smoker on grass, the smoker doesn't matter if there's a deck there or not.
Yeah, but it's when you can bring it over, because the deck is wider, is
Yeah,
able
but
to-
they can
okay.
they can have a
All right.
flat part of the grass that they can put it on. The
Yes, they
location of the
could.
smoker,
Yes,
there's
they
no
could.
rules against where your smoker
No,
is on your
no,
property.
That's correct.
I mean, and you're saying that they're 3 foot 4 feet as opposed to, they're allowed, what?
Well,
I'm
let-
confused by these a little bit about this. So they're 4 inches, wait, so the,
Well, let's look at it a different way.
hang on, one sec.
So the required setback from the north property line, which Mr. Hess abuts his property, right? The setback is 4.2,
Okay.
or 4 foot 2 inches, rather.
So
Sorry, I'm
It's
reading
okay.
myself right now. The required, side yard is 4'6", stand corrected. So only 4 inches of encroachment.
So the 4 inches,
But they're actually a foot encroached.
well, I mean, that's for the surveyor and the building inspector to verify.
Yeah, they can do that.
But you don't approve of the 4 inches that they're asking for.
let's look at it this way. It's supposed to be 6-foot sidelines. There was a reason
No,
for
it's
this
4
for a
foot
long
6.
time ago.
Yeah, I know, but
And now
it's
the
4 foot
state
6.
has said we can allow on certain properties.
That's all we can go by is-
4'6".
is the ordinance.
Well, 4'6" is not good enough.
Well,
My neighbor wants to be 1 foot away. Now,
Well,
do
1 foot is
Can
different
I
than-
come up to you and ask you to build something so I could be 1 foot away from him?
We've had that.
And he's 1 foot away?
we've had that.
Yeah, and we start to get problems when you do that.
Why is that?
Well, you can't access the back of the lot, house if you
Well,
need to.
you can if, just by asking.
Well, not if there's a structure there. You've built
Well, no,
it
not if
within
there's a
foot of
fence or
it.
if there's
Yeah.
something obstructing it, no, but,
Okay.
you know, we're in an
All right.
old town here, there's a lot of properties and garages and other objects within people's yards that are much closer than our zoning allows.
Okay, well.
And from what they've presented to us, it doesn't seem like that the deck has enlarged within several decades.
Well, if I give you pictures, would that confirm it?
I mean, not really, because we're only asking for 4 inches.
But the other dimension, that deck has expanded.
Well,
Got that.
by what they're saying is it's the same size.
And I'm saying it's not.
Okay.
Can
And
I
I live right
interrupt
next
for
door.
1 second?
Yeah, Ms. Hicks.
Could you just tell me which property in that picture is yours? See where it says 150? Is that you?
I'm 59 Rosebriar.
Okay. All right, you're not 46?
No.
Okay, you're 150, shall we say?
59, the house number is 59.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So let me
No,
take,
150 is the length of the,
does that help?
yeah.
As I'm looking at that, I
Yeah.
don't see where the deck abuts your property.
It comes, it does, that's because of the trees that are over it at this point.
That's
Which I've been-
asphalt roof, right?
That,
to the
right
left?
in there is part of the deck, and it goes right up to the yellow line. It's 3 feet off the yellow line. The trees are blocking the deck.
Okay.
So it's not, you're not able to see it, and it's reality. In that very corner that you're looking at, it's like 85% is totally covered with structure now, and that's in the same place that I have my back door and my deck. And of course I get the noise and the smells and I should be able to enjoy my property, I would think, to a point.
So how would the setback change that?
How's this setback?
How would the setback change the noise or the smells or anything else that happens?
Because the decks were changed,
By 4 inches.
not by 4 inches, by 4 feet roughly.
3.4 feet on the other direction.
No, on the width totally running down to the shower.
Okay. Mr.
The
Euler, you
length
had
of
some
it.
questions?
This deck
Yeah.
has changed. I can give you the,
Mr. Hess, if your neighbor 2 houses down is cooking something, can you smell it?
oh, probably could,
It's a
sure,
yes or no answer.
sure.
If your neighbor
Sure.
2 houses down is cooking something,
no,
can you?
I probably
You can't
not.
smell it by the nature?
no.
These houses are close together. I
These
guarantee
houses are
you
very close
that
together.
if someone is cooking 2 or 3 houses away, you
Yeah.
can smell it. So 4 feet isn't going to make a difference. I walked your boundary of your property. I
Okay.
couldn't see their deck. The existing structure and the hedgerows that are there completely eliminate any view of that deck.
I've been
So
told-
you made a comment in your letter
Yes,
that cooking and other activities will interfere with the use of your enjoyment. What other activities? I don't understand. If you can't see them, what other activities are interfering? You also made a comment that the value of your property would be affected. I don't understand how someone installing a brand-new deck would do anything but enhance the value of your property.
deck looks wonderful. I've been threatened already that the hedges are going to be cut. They've already been trimmed very heavily, and they've started to brown. And you probably haven't seen that. That's been done in the last 3 or 4 days. those hedges are all that's the difference of privacy.
So have you asked to
There's no
work?
guarantee that
Have you
those-
spoken with the neighbor and asked to work with them on?
I was threatened actually a year ago, and I wanted to talk to him when I gave you that drawing. So I mean, this is something that, and we were friends up until that point.
Okay. I mean, we're just here to discuss the placement of the deck.
Yeah,
And where that
understand.
deck has been,
Yeah.
and how much that deck is going to affect sort of the adjacent properties. So that's why we're here.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the deck is built, the deck is larger than the deck was before in width.
Okay, well, they're asking to make it this size and this distance away
Yeah,
from the
that's right.
property line, is what
Okay.
they're asking for
Okay.
to do.
Yeah.
So whatever it was before, again, it's, you know, this is what they're asking for now.
What's my choices?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I think your choice from here is yours. I mean, but if you have anything else to add, I mean, you can add it now, but,
It doesn't seem like it's just going to take up your time because we're not doing well.
well, I mean, I think
we're-
it's just a
we're-
matter of, we always try to do what we believe is fair and equitable for a neighborhood and, you know, and to make sure that whatever people are suggesting isn't necessarily going to encroach on others is the intent. You know, so I think it's based on what we know about the neighborhood and what people have presented to us in terms of, you know, but they're you know, and looking for the least relief.
You're expanding a non-conforming area. It's a non-conforming area. And if anything, you want to try to correct some of the problems of a non-conforming.
Well, we really can't. They're all undersized lots.
Yeah.
So you can't
But
fix that.
Here, we're expanding
A
the
deck.
non-conforming
Right.
and continue to expand it for the last 20
Well,
years.
I'm not sure what they did in the past 20 years. All I know is what they're asking
Well,
for
I
now.
can show you what was done a year ago with that
Well,
picture alone. That was
I mean-
expanding it.
We you know, there's the reason why we give people an opportunity, you know, a month's advance is that they can present to us information and evidence that suggests that what they're providing us is incorrect. But I can't really react off of what's given to us at the meeting. It doesn't give us enough time.
Okay.
I mean, if we
Then-
feel that if
Can we get more time? Can we extend this? So we
well,
get some more time?
that's up to the board.
Would you ask
so
the board,
I
please?
think if you don't have anything else to add, I can talk to the board and we can see
Yeah.
what we can do from here.
I
But
have a lot I could add, but I don't want to take up the board's time at this time.
meaning that you have,
I have pictures and argument as to how and why that when we already have setbacks that are normally 6 feet. and
well, the
we're
setbacks,
giving it the 4 foot
normally,
6,
normal and what's,
and you're doing 1 foot?
yeah, what the law is what
Yeah.
we're allowed to enforce.
Yeah.
Okay, so this 6 foot, I'm not sure, like, it's not relevant here.
And the
Because it's all a
4 foot 6 is-
proportion of what the setbacks are at this point, because they're all non-conforming lots. So since it's all non-conforming, everybody's allowed a percentage of that non-conforming to be that much closer to your property line.
Well, when I built, I
Well-
was non-conforming, and I had to conform to the sideline of 10 feet and
Yep,
6 feet.
that's right. And-
And now we are saying
They
that
changed the law.
there is no.
That's right, they changed the law.
It's gone.
No,
Any
not
size-
gone, it's changed.
It's changed.
It's changed, yeah.
Okay.
The State House changed that, we
Yeah.
didn't have any.
To 4 foot 6.
They changed it to a percentage.
A percentage, right?
Yes.
Which is 4 foot 6 in this case.
In this particular situation, yes, it's 4'6".
Right, but we're not at 4'6", we're at 1 foot.
They're asking for relief.
They're asking for relief
Yes.
from the 4 foot
Right.
6.
And it's a matter of understanding why they need it, or
Yeah.
if it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
And it's a deck.
Yeah, it's a deck,
Yep,
yeah, living space,
it's an outdoor deck.
yeah.
It's not
And it's
a
going to
living.
be used possibly by a tenant. It's,
By what?
By a tenant, because.
A deck?
Yes, because it's behind the garage. The garage is is what you would call an ADU at this point.
Okay,
is the bedroom bath, so it
Okay.
can be rented. And
Okay.
where does the renter go? In the back of the garage, on that deck.
Yeah,
And that's where the problem is for me,
okay,
all right?
because the inches. Okay,
So when you're on a tiny lot with wetland restrictions already, 50 by 150 foot.
but if it's
And
not a
I'm
deck,
down-
you
and I'm-
realize it
you
could be
know.
hardscape, it could be a chair, it could be a bench on grass. Like the deck doesn't really matter.
Like an extension, please.
Okay, well, we'll talk to the board and see what we can get.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else want to speak on behalf of this petition? For or against? Okay, board members, any thoughts in particular about it? I know, Mr. Ely, you were out there. I'm sorry. Do you have, Ms. Hicks, anything you wanted to say?
Just that we have some conflicting information. The applicant says it's exactly the same footprint. The abutter
Okay.
says they've extended
So
it.
why don't you guys come back up? One of you, it doesn't have to be both, or whoever wants to answer this. So there was testimony that things have changed.
I mean, I made the deck exactly the same footprint to what it was.
Yeah, so he showed us a photograph of something being replaced at one point, or there was a new piece of decking that he was putting in, or being put in.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I mean, I replaced what was there, so
Okay. So it's your testimony that you're putting back what
correct,
was there.
correct.
Okay. Okay. Any questions, board members? Ms. Hicks?
Okay, so your testimony is that you did not expand the deck?
That's
Just
correct.
to- Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. Any other discussion? No? Mr. Elia, go for it.
I'll make a motion to approve the petition of Mr. Andrew Shea at a meeting held on Wednesday, August 19th of 2026. Mr. Andrew Shea of 231 Briarwood Drive, Wakefield, for the property at 42 Browning Street, presented his petition. Mr. Shea and Ms. Constant Wiley spoke as representatives of the application. There were no additional individuals who spoke in support. Mr. Bert Hess did speak in opposition of this petition. The following materials were entered into record: petition ZBR 26-26 for assessor's map 96-1, lot 47, which is zoned R30. The board finds that the hardship from which the applicant seeks relief is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land or structure and not the general characteristics of the surrounding area. It is not due to the physical or economic disability of the applicant, accepting of those disabilities addressed in 452430. Applicant is seeking to replace an existing 982 square foot deck with the exact square footage at the rear dwelling. Required side yard setback is 4 feet 6 inches. Therefore, applicant is seeking relief of 3.4 feet from the east side of the property and seeking relief of 4 inches from the north side of the property. Present lot size is 0.21 acres. The board finds that the hardship is not the result of any prior action of the applicant. Board further finds that granting of the requested variance will not alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent or purpose of the zoning ordinance or the comprehensive plan upon which the ordinance is based. Board finds that the hardship suffered by the owner of the subject property, if the dimensional variance is not granted, amounts to more than an inconvenience, meaning that relief sought is minimal to the reasonable enjoyment of the permitted use to which the property is proposed to be devoted, and there were no conditions attached to this approval.
Thank you, Mr. Elia. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Hicks. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Elia? Aye. Mrs. Hicks?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald? Aye. Mr. Daniels? Aye. Mr. Cagnetta? Aye. Motion passes. Good luck, guys. You only need one copy, so if you have kids going to school, yeah. Is that the exact, what's in that folder?
I gave Ben my copy. Thank you for doing that.
No. Thank you. Okay. Next, we have the petition of Christopher Santilli of 11 Billington Avenue, South Kingstown, Rhode Island, 02879. The applicant is seeking to demolish 2 dwellings and construct a new 3-bedroom, single-family dwelling. The new dwelling will be located 8.6 feet from the property line. The required yard setback is 11.7 feet. Therefore, a relief of 3.1 feet is requested. Lot size is 0.26 acres. A dimensional variance is required per the zoning ordinance, section 205, or single non-conforming lots, and section 907 are standards of relief. Owner of the property is 11 Billington LLC for premises located at 11 Billington Avenue, South Kingstown. Assessors map 69-2, lot 21, and is zoned R40. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Chair, members. My name's Josh Parks. I am counsel to the applicant and owner, 11 Billington LLC. That's member managed by Christopher and his wife Laura, who are here with us this evening as well.
Excellent.
So if it's all right with you, I'll give you a very brief overview. Then Mr. Santilli will say a few words, and we do have the project engineer here as well, just in case you have any questions of a more technical nature.
Fantastic. Yeah, please.
So I will be brief. I hope that this is a fairly straightforward application. We're only seeking relief from one section of the zoning ordinance. We need a small relief from the front setback. This property is a non-conforming lot of a highly irregular shape, and it's pretty significantly non-conforming. It's just 11,700 square feet in an R40 zone. Like I said, the only relief required is from the front setback. 11.7 feet is required, 8.6 is requested, so we're seeking a variance of just over 3 feet, and notably that 3 feet is only in that very northeast corner of the property. This property is located right on Billington Cove. It's sandwiched in between Billington Ave to the north and the Cove to the south, which means in addition to zoning restrictions and the dealing with what I'll technically term the funky shape of this property, we also have significant CRMC considerations. The entire property sits within CRMC jurisdiction. This siting is the result of meetings with CRMC. The preliminary determination, a favorable preliminary determination, is in the file, and we can answer any questions you may have about that. Working with CRMC, they determined that this location as proposed is, quote, in the best location on the parcel relative to all features and existing elevations. So applicants seeking to build this is not a mansion. It's a nice house, but an ordinary sized house, and we're seeking just that 3 feet on the front. So with that, I'll bring up Mr. Santilli to just introduce himself to you and explain why we're seeking this relief.
Great. And please state and spell your name, please.
Yeah, good evening, Chairman and members of the board. My name is Chris Santilli, CHRIS, TOPHER,
You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Excellent. Go ahead, Mr. Santilli.
Yeah, so we're looking to build, as you've heard, a 3-story home. It's obviously in a flood zone, so the first floor is not rendered useless for living space. Living space elevation starts at elevation 13, 1 foot above flood. The reason the house is positioned in the location that it is, in pre-application meeting with CRMC, the biologist, and another staff member, notably wanted the house moved as far as possible to the to the west, to get it away from that marshland in the cove there. So that's what we aim to do. And try to keep the house as far landward as possible to mitigate any sort of sea level rise, flooding, so on and so forth. So where we have the house now, it's going to be pretty much as close as possible to the leach field as we can be by state law,
Right.
as far to the west. I'm under, as far as the FAR calculation is concerned, I'm a few hundred square feet under the FAR calculation, as well as structural lot coverage. So I try to minimize and keep everything as reasonable as possible. I'm not going for the 50% SLC that is allowed by CRMC. I'm only asking for 25% of structural lot coverage. That's kind of where I'm at.
And so, is there any way to make the house 3.1 feet smaller?
Yeah, I think there probably is. I'm trying to keep the aesthetic of the home without putting a big jog in the front corner of it. Trying to keep the aesthetic of it the way I have it proposed in the renderings that I uploaded. By taking the house and actually turning it a bit to get out of that setback, it angles the house in an awkward direction that doesn't really conform with the rest of the houses in that cove on that street. So I'm trying to keep it characteristic of the abutting parcels as well.
And are you designing it, I mean, it is set almost perfect to the, to the compass.
Yeah.
Are you kind of being thoughtful of that too, or is it not so much? It's almost perfect, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Trying to get a nice view up the pond, essentially.
And how well defined is that front edge of Billington Ave? I mean, is that a real apparent? Because it looks as if the rendering of the schematic here seems to show the gravel outside of where your property line is a little bit.
Yeah. So after the it's proposed 8.6 foot setback, there's another 3.5, 4 feet of grass. Then it goes to gravel.
Okay.
There's kind of a little buffer zone there. The road isn't really depicted not correctly, but it's hard to picture it on the site plan.
And you guys are kind of reorienting everything on that property, so it's even hard to get a sense.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. The lot, I mean, it's a really cool piece of property, but the lot is such an odd shaped, and to try to satisfy needs of town and this town zoning ordinance and CRMC regulation it's quite a it's a lot. But
So pushing it south or west really isn't possible.
it's
by
not,
CRMC.
It's not.
Right.
It's
And-
not.
And you need a place for your septic. You need a
Correct.
place for your rain garden.
The septic's existing right now.
It is existing.
It is. It's an updated ISDS St. Bottomless sand filter, so the system's there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Good for you.
which is kind of cool.
So you're sticking with the same amount of bedrooms then? as
I'm
what was
actually,
there?
I am before DEM. Well, I have a plan submitted to DEM to try to increase to 3-bedroom, meaning expand the field by 5 feet to the north. So if you look at the plan, it would just go another 5 feet from, that's actually the proposed, I believe, size of the new system or expanded system. Whether we get that, we don't know, but
So right now, it's how many bedroom?
2-bedroom.
Oh, it's just two. So for
It's just
two
two.
buildings, it was only 2 bedrooms?
Yeah, it was deeded, or it was on the tax card as 1 bedroom per building.
Right.
There's a toilet, there's actually a bathroom, full bathroom in each building.
So if they don't give you that extra space, then you're going to have a bigger closet.
Yeah, pretty much. She'll fill it up.
Yeah, well, I know. You don't stick that, that's not fair. So, okay. Anything else you wanted to add to that?
Height restriction, I think we're about an inch below height restriction with given
With your freeboard?
consideration for freeboard. I think we're about an inch under. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're not over, we'll be under.
All right. Yeah.
It's not, I'd rather keep it as low as possible, but kind of can't, so.
Right.
And I'd also, I guess I could add, there's some houses all the way down on Billington on the dead end. It's a dead end. A few newer houses. Their setbacks are, I don't know the lot size, but their setbacks are, some are like 8, some are 8.9. So they're, characteristics with those newer homes.
Well, by the orientation of the existing gravel as opposed to where the property line actually seems to make it somewhat reasonable.
Yeah,
So.
I think so.
All right. Board members, questions for the witness? Yeah.
Sure.
Quick
Mr.
question,
Ilio.
any propane on site?
Uh,
Either above ground or underground? Do
I'd like to do underground if I could.
you have room for it, or?
I think I do. I think I can make it work. If not, then maybe do oil or above-ground tanks,
Okay.
something like that.
And then just a sidebar, it's really irrelevant. It
Sure.
says elevator. Is that a full elevator or a dumbwaiter?
I think it's going to be a full elevator.
Smart.
I think
Nice.
I don't think I have a choice. I don't want to do it, but I don't think I have a choice.
Well, you got to get all of our clothes up to the closets, so.
And dogs and others. It's for
No, that's a smart move.
two 15-year-old dogs. So I appreciate it. Her brother is an architect. He's helping us. He drew the plan, so
Oh, nice.
hopefully he doesn't charge us.
All right. Board members, any other questions?
If you don't get the approval for the increase to the septic system, will you then have to change the design of the house and make it 2 bedrooms?
I'm not going to change the actual footprint of the home. I would just create an office that, we don't have any children. I don't anticipate we're going to have any children, so an office would work well. It's just an added bonus if we could get one more bedroom. But if we can't, then it's okay.
Because, Mr. Gorman, what constitutes a bedroom?
Well, it'd have to have a side hinge door and meet the requirements of the code for a bedroom, but closet, egress window, typically we require, if it's going to be considered an office or a study, for it to be a cased opening or French doors with no
Okay.
closet.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'm a builder. I'll
Oh,
abide
you do?
by
All right.
any, whatever Jamie wants.
Okay.
Whatever the town wants, I'll abide by, obviously.
Okay. Mr. Daniels?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chairman. If we decide to approve this, conditions would be final CRMC and DEM, obviously. Right? Yeah. It's a great location, it's a great design.
Thank you.
I know that corner. It's very nice. And if you're a fisherman, the stripers will come right in there.
She's down in the docks every day. She blue crabs and whatever else she does. I don't know what she does down there, but it is beautiful.
Any other questions, board members? Anything else you want to add?
Any other questions? I'm happy to answer.
Yep, maybe. We'll see how many objectors there are out there.
But not many.
So, no, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mark, is there anyone else that you wanted to call up?
No, like I said, I have the engineer here, but really, he's here subject to your questioning. So, with that, I'll just, if we have any
So I'm sorry,
objectors,
what's his expertise?
he's the engineer
Oh, the engineer.
on this project.
Okay, for what kind of engineering? This-
Tim, what is your?
Civil.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to say, or? Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
well, thank you. Are you charging for that? No, I'm kidding.
Don't ask me that question.
Nope, if there's nothing else, that's fine.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone out there that wants to speak on behalf of this petition, either for or against? No, hearing none. Board members, any thoughts, concerns, otherwise? It seems pretty reasonable relative to the current use and proposed in terms of placement of buildings and so forth. Oh. Okay. So, I mean, if someone wants to make a motion, or if there's any other discussion towards it, we can. We can give them a hard time for a few minutes if you want, just to extend it.
Okay. The application of Christopher Santilli before the board for a relief of 3.1 feet on a dimensional variance. The application and the associated documents are part of the record and were read into the record by the chairman earlier. The property is located at 11 Billington Avenue in South Kingstown, and the applicant wishes to demolish two structures on the property currently and replace it with a fine one-family home that has been, all documentation has been entered into the record, which describes the construction of that home. The, John, I believe it's Parks, is that correct? Attorney Parks spoke on behalf of the applicant, and the applicant, Christopher Santilli, spoke as well and described what they want to do on the property and discussed the approvals that are still pending, which would be CRMC and DEM. There was no opposition to the request, and the materials were entered into the record as described. The board finds that the hardship from which the applicant seeks relief is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land and structure and not to the general characteristics of the surrounding area. It is a unique lot in that it's not square, it's not round, it's not triangular. I'm not sure what it is. A rhomboid? Does that describe it? Anyway, it's a unique lot. It's a beautiful, beautiful location, and the applicant has done everything he can to make sure that the design is away from the coastal feature and meets the requirements that he'll need from CRMC. The board finds that the hardship is not the result of any prior action of the applicant because he's taken all the necessary steps here prior to getting the approval from this board. The board finds that the granting of the requested variance will not alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent or purpose of the zoning ordinance or the comprehensive plan upon which the ordinance is based, because this is a neighborhood that has undergone 3 or 4 modernizations, maybe more, over the course of the last several years. I'm familiar with the neighborhood. And this certainly will make a significant impact in the character and the property values in the neighborhood. The board finds that hardship suffered by the owner of the subject property, if the dimensional variance is not granted, would amount to more than a mere inconvenience, meaning that the relief sought is minimal to a reasonable enjoyment, because the owner is asking for 3.1 feet requested relief from the front yard setback, which in the board's opinion is a minimal requirement based on the fact that they have to be considerate of the coastal features. The approval is subject to DEM's approval of their septic upgrade, and is also subject to the final approval. We have the preliminary approval on file of CRMC. And with that, I would move that we approve the request.
Motion was made by Mr. Daniels. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Elia. Any other discussion?
Just a 2-year expiration because of state approvals.
Okay.
What's that?
A 2-year approval, or a two-year waiting.
Yeah, that's make that part of the motion as well.
So you have 2 years to complete the project based on approvals from the state. Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Daniels?
Aye.
Mr. Elia? Aye. Ms. Hicks?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald? Aye. Mr. Cagnetta? Aye. Motion passes. Good luck. Yeah. No problem. You guys were easy compared to the other ones. You're welcome. All right, so we have attendance for the September 16th meeting. We are getting tighter and tighter. Okay.
So the continuation that you made tonight, and then at least 4 other items.
Okay. So a little more. Well, hopefully the first one is easy. The continuation is easy. And then any concerns about the minutes of July 15th, 2026? Good job, Ben. Thank you, Ben. All in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Any other business? Okay. Motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Go get your ice cream if you're